You've likely felt it since childhood. That uneasy sensation deep in your gut when something didn't sit right yet everyone else seemed perfectly fine with it. That persistent thought creeping into your mind. Am I seeing the world differently, or is everyone else simply blind to something obvious? Think back to those moments in school when you voiced a thought that felt profound, only to be met with blank stares or dismissive shrugs, as if you had just spoken a foreign language. Being wired as a Sigma male means your mind instinctively searches for deeper meaning even when it unsettles those around you. As you grew older, the challenges only intensified. The unspoken pressure to conform to trends that felt hollow. The expectation to laugh at jokes that lacked humor. The push to care about things that felt utterly trivial. Yet, something within you resisted. You questioned the script society handed you, and that's when the struggle truly began. Then came adulthood. Office politics, shallow small talk, the exhausting performance of social climbing. It all felt like an extension of high school, just with higher stakes. While others seamlessly played along, you stood apart, observing, analyzing, and resisting the pull of meaningless facades. That's because Sigma males aren't built to follow, they're wired to walk their own path, even when it means standing alone. Dr. Jordan Peterson describes this as cognitive independence, the rare ability to reject groupthink and trust your own perception of reality. For Sigma males, this isn't a learned skill, it's an intrinsic trait. Their minds operate differently, slicing through illusions and seeing what others either ignore or choose to pretend isn't there. And now, you're here, looking back, all those years of feeling out of sync, questioning whether you were the one who didn't fit. It all finally clicks. That lingering sense that you've been navigating a different world than everyone else. You weren't imagining it, you were playing by a different set of rules all along. Your Sigma nature isn't a defect, it's an advantage. A filter that cuts through deception and unveils the truth most are too afraid to confront. So, let's break it down. Here are the 8 unexpected stages every Sigma male experiences in life, and once you recognize them, you'll never look at your journey the same way again. Number 1. The isolation phase, embracing solitude over superficiality. Once you recognize that your mind operates on a different wavelength, the next stage naturally unfolds: voluntary isolation. This isn't about loneliness or rejection of others. Rather, it's a conscious decision to withdraw from environments that feel draining, disingenuous, or lacking depth. As you become more aware of the disconnect between how you perceive the world and how others operate within it, you begin filtering your social interactions. Suddenly, the things that used to feel mildly annoying, forced small talk, social obligations, or surface-level friendships become unbearable. You start questioning why people waste so much time on trivial conversations and pointless drama. Unlike extroverts who gain energy from social interactions, or even introverts who might still crave deep one-on-one connections, you feel most at peace in solitude. Not because you dislike people, but because you recognize that most interactions are driven by expectations rather than genuine connection. You refuse to engage in socializing just for the sake of it. Your time, energy, and mental clarity become your top priorities. But this phase isn't without its challenges. Friends and family may not understand why you've begun to step back. Some might take it personally, assuming you're being distant or even arrogant. Colleagues may question why you don't engage in office gossip or after-work gatherings. Society as a whole is built on group dynamics, and when you choose to step outside those norms, people tend to see it as strange or even threatening. However, you push through. You understand that removing yourself from unnecessary distractions is essential for personal growth. Solitude doesn't weaken you, it strengthens you. In this phase, you develop a sharper sense of self-awareness, honing your thoughts, refining your goals, and deepening your understanding of the world. Over time, this isolation evolves into something powerful, not a burden, but a necessity. You no longer feel the need to explain your choices to others. Instead, you embrace the quiet, using it to cultivate skills, sharpen your mind, and build a life that aligns with your vision, rather than one dictated by societal expectations. Number 2, the awakening, understanding you're wired differently. You've always sensed that you didn't quite blend in, but then one day, it clicks: you're fundamentally built differently from most people. This is the turning point where you stop forcing yourself to fit into predefined roles and start questioning why you never aligned with the typical alpha or beta archetypes. It's the moment you shift from seeking validation to embracing authenticity. It's not loud or dramatic, it's a quiet, internal shift with profound consequences. And once this truth settles in, your past starts looking different. Suddenly, everything about your Sigma nature falls into place. Your instinct to analyze instead of blindly follow, the times you saw through people's facades but chose silence, the deep-seated discomfort you felt when expected to conform to shallow norms. This realization isn't about superiority, it's about clarity. It explains why following the crowd always felt hollow. Why surface-level interactions left you feeling disconnected. Why certain social rules never resonated with you. At first, there's a sense of relief. You're not flawed, just different. Then, a stronger realization emerges. You owe no one an apology for the way your mind operates. Your ability to question, to observe, to search for depth, these aren't weaknesses. They are the very core of your Sigma identity, the lens through which you see the world. And this awareness transforms everything. Not with fanfare, but like adjusting a blurry lens and seeing clearly for the first time. Because now, you finally get it, you were never playing the same game as everyone else. Number 3, the rebellion, rejecting the norms that don't serve you. As you settle into your identity as a Sigma male, another phase begins, the rebellion. But unlike the outward, aggressive rebellion of some personality types, yours is quiet, calculated, and deeply intentional. From an early age, you may have felt that certain societal rules and traditions didn't quite make sense. But instead of blindly accepting them, you start to analyze and deconstruct them. You realize that many of these structures exist not because they are logical or beneficial, but because they keep people in line. This is when you stop playing the game. You no longer feel compelled to follow trends simply because everyone else is doing it. You don't chase validation, status, or social approval because you've seen through the illusion. Whether it's career expectations, relationship norms, or the unspoken rules of social hierarchies, you question everything. Perhaps you refuse to climb the corporate ladder, knowing it's built more on politics than merit. Maybe you reject traditional relationship dynamics, recognizing how modern dating often prioritizes status over substance. You stop engaging in pointless competition, understanding that true success is about freedom and self-sufficiency, not conforming to someone else's definition of achievement. This stage can be difficult because it puts you at odds with the world. Others may see your choices as strange or rebellious, not understanding why you refuse to conform. But you don't rebel for the sake of rebelling, you do it because you see a better way. Your rebellion is strategic, not reckless. While others remain trapped in systems they don't question, you start creating your own path. You choose independence over security, authenticity over acceptance, and purpose over popularity. Eventually, the rebellion isn't just about rejecting the old, it's about building something better. And that leads to the next phase, mastery. Number 4, the quiet rebellion, breaking away from the crow. You've started rejecting societal norms and expectations. While others chase status, materialism, and fitting in, you're beginning to embrace solitude. You realize that the crowd distracts you from your true self, so you pull back, focus inward, and pursue what genuinely interests you, no matter how unconventional it may seem. This isn't rebellion for rebellion's sake. Your Sigma personality is simply asserting itself more strongly. You begin to notice how people chase things that don't really matter: social media validation, empty status symbols, mindless entertainment. And something in you simply says no. Psychologist Carl Jung called this individuation, the process of becoming who you really are. For Sigma males, this often means stepping away from the crowd's endless chase for external validation. You start making choices others don't understand. Maybe you skip the trendy hangout spots for a quiet evening pursuing your interests. Maybe you invest in personal growth while others invest in keeping up appearances. These aren't calculated decisions, they just feel right. As you pull away from the crowd's influence, your mind becomes clearer. It's like turning down background noise you didn't even realize was there. This mental clarity is a defining Sigma trait, the ability to think independently. Once free from social pressure, you're not becoming antisocial, you're becoming authentic. And while others might see this as rebellion, you know the truth. You're not rebelling against anything. You're simply aligning with who you've always been. Number 5, the solitude shock, learning to enjoy your own company. At first, being alone feels strange, but over time, something powerful happens. You start appreciating your own company. You find peace in the quiet moments. You begin to realize that solitude isn't loneliness, it's freedom. The more time you spend alone, the more you uncover about yourself. You become your own best friend. What others see as isolation, you recognize as clarity. Dr. Elaine Aron describes deep processors, people who need solitude to fully process their experiences. For Sigma males, alone time isn't just a preference, it's essential for mental clarity. Then, you discover something fascinating. The quiet moments aren't empty, they're full of insight. While others feel restless in silence, you find it energizing. Your mind works best without the constant pressure to perform socially. Author Susan Cain calls this the power of quiet, when being alone actually makes you stronger. Most people fear being alone with their thoughts. But for a Sigma, solitude is where you thrive. Not because you're antisocial, but because you've discovered a truth that many miss. True strength often grows in quiet moments. Number 6. The unexpected pressure, facing judgment from others. As you embrace your individuality, you begin to notice the judgment from friends, family, and colleagues. Society wants you to conform. They don't understand your need for space, your preference for silence, or why you don't chase the same goals as everyone else. You feel the weight of their expectations, but you also feel an inner strength rising. The questions start coming. Why are you so quiet? Why don't you join us more often? Don't you want to be normal? For Sigma males, these aren't just annoying questions. They're pressure points designed to make you doubt yourself. At first, it's tempting to explain yourself. But then you realize you don't need to. Society mistakes nonconformity for defiance. But being a Sigma isn't about defying anything, it's about staying true to your natural way of being. And the more authentic you become, the more others try to change you, but something unexpected happens. Each judgment, each criticism, each attempt to make you conform only strengthens your resolve. Your inner compass grows stronger. You start trusting your instincts more than others' opinions. Because when the world demands you be someone else, your quiet strength grows. Not despite the pressure, but because of it. Number 7. The mastery stage, owning your unique path without apology. After years of navigating isolation and rebellion, something shifts. You reach a stage of mastery. This is when you no longer feel the need to explain yourself, justify your decisions, or seek approval from anyone. At this point, you've tested, refined, and built a life that aligns with your core values. The struggles of earlier stages, feeling like an outsider, questioning everything, rejecting societal norms, have strengthened you. You've emerged with a deep self-assurance that is rare and powerful. Now, you no longer seek validation. You no longer feel the need to debate your choices or prove anything to anyone. You simply live your truth, unapologetically. This mastery stage brings a quiet, uncheckable confidence. You don't chase success in the traditional sense, yet you often become highly successful in your own way. Whether through business, creative pursuits, or unconventional career paths, you carve out a space where you thrive without playing by the usual rules. People begin to notice you not because you seek attention, but because your presence commands it. While others follow trends, you set your own pace. While many crave external recognition, you find fulfillment within. You don't waste energy on unnecessary conflicts or distractions because you understand what truly matters. The world around you hasn't changed, but you have. And that changes everything. Now, you move through life with purpose, clarity, and complete ownership of who you are. You finally understand that being different was never a curse, it was a hidden advantage all along. Number 8. The leadership paradox, leading without trying. As you move beyond mastery, something unexpected happens. You start to influence others without even trying. Despite your preference for solitude and independence, people naturally gravitate toward you. Why? Because in a world where most people seek validation and follow the crowd, your self-sufficiency and quiet confidence stand out. You don't chase attention, yet you command it. You don't impose your beliefs on others, yet people seek your insights. You don't try to lead, but others naturally look to you for guidance. At this stage, you realize that true leadership isn't about control, dominance, or seeking followers. Instead, it's about embodying strength, wisdom, and authenticity. Unlike traditional leaders who seek power and influence, your leadership is purely organic. It emerges from the way you live your life. How the leadership paradox plays out. Your actions speak louder than words. You don't give long speeches or try to convince people to think like you. Instead, you lead by example. Your discipline, mindset, and independence inspire others to question their own lives and make better choices. People are drawn to your composure. Because you don't react emotionally or impulsively to situations, others see you as a source of stability and wisdom. Whether in personal relationships, business, or everyday interactions, your ability to remain calm and composed makes you a quiet but powerful force. You become a mentor without trying. Even though you prefer to walk your own path, you often find yourself mentoring others not in a formal sense, but simply through your insights and way of thinking. People seek your advice, ask how you handle situations, and look up to you as someone who has figured out a different way to live. You influence without conforming. While others try to fit in, you remain unapologetically yourself. And paradoxically, this is what makes you influential. People respect those who refuse to be swayed by pressure or trends. They see you as someone who has escaped the traps they are still stuck in, and they want to know how you did it. The shift in perspective. At this stage, you begin to understand that leadership isn't about authority, it's about alignment. You don't seek to control people, yet they follow your example. You don't chase success, yet success follows you. However, you also realize that not everyone is ready for what you know. Some people admire your independence but aren't willing to break free themselves. Others may misinterpret your detachment as arrogance. You accept that not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. Instead of trying to be a leader, you continue doing what you've always done, living on your terms, thinking for yourself, and moving with purpose. But now, you do so knowing that your presence alone is a statement, a lesson, and an inspiration to those who are ready to wake up. This is the ultimate stage of being a Sigma male, not just surviving outside the system, but thriving, influencing, and rewriting the rules without ever needing permission. If you found this video insightful or relatable, why not join our growing community? Subscribe to the channel for more content exploring the mindsets, traits, and behaviors of Sigma males. Your engagement helps us dive deeper into these unique perspectives. Be sure to like this video if it resonated with you, share it with someone who might appreciate it, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Remember, as a Sigma male or someone inspired by their path, staying true to yourself is the ultimate strength. Keep evolving, stay strong, and we'll see you in the next video.